table. That's like pubes. Anyways.
All right. So let's try to remember how we do this. It's been April was the last one when we had Belanger on. Okay.
April.
So the music will kick in. We might do new music now. New year. That day bow bow.
We could use that, actually.
You know that song, Day Bow Bow?
Yeah.
Day Bow Bow.
I think we should actually use that.
All right. That's gonna get.
There goes your mic.
There goes my mic. It's been a while.
So much weight on this end.
I know. I'm a lot longer than I probably should be.
You are.
That's what she said?
No.
Oh.
That's... All right, so let's kick this off. Welcome, everyone, to a much-needed episode of the People vs. Paranormal podcast. For those of you who used to listen to us a long time ago, you may remember us. My name is Ben.
My name's Tim.
My name is Anthony.
And it's been a while, huh?
It is.
It's been a while since
Too long.
I did a paranormal podcast, yeah. It's been since April. So... we got a lot of time to make up for. So we have a laundry list of stuff we're going to go over here. So I guess we'll kick it off. Let's get the bills paid. Not really, because we do these ourselves. We're not sponsored. But let's go over paranormal news.
Yeah.
So this is one I actually wanted to talk about for a while now. Have you guys heard about this lady in England who has been having sex with ghosts?
Yeah, Divorce, I heard last time.
Well, yeah, so there's some more news on it for those of you who are unfamiliar. Out in jolly old England, across the pond, this lady, she goes by the name Amethyst Realm, which is like I like to think of a mixture between like a tarot card reader and a porn star.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty hot to me. I don't know.
Yeah, she left her fiance, who was human, because she's been sleeping with ghosts since she was about 18, 16, something like that.
Wow, I wonder how the fiance feels about that.
And was he ever involved? Was there any like
Three
menage
ways?
a trois? You know?
Yeah, right.
But
Hello.
she's supposedly slept with over 20 ghosts now, and she is now in the process of trying to marry one and father or mother the children. How would that work? Would it be-
Have you seen Scary Movie 2?
Invisibility.
yeah, like so. No, I can only imagine. Like, where's my boo at?
Wow.
I went
hey.
there, rim shot.
Like, where are you? Wait, let me get my IR camera to see you.
But like, I don't know. Like, that sounds like something like a person who can't get laid on their own would say. But oh no, I'm not looking. I have a
Come on.
ghost back home.
Come on, I
Yeah.
got a ghost notebook.
Yeah, no, I've slept with plenty of
So-
people. They're just all ghosts.
You know how they have VR porn?
Yeah.
They have like a VR thermal.
Like the
yeah.
night vision.
Exactly.
I
You gotta put,
see
it's like
you.
green screen.
It
Oh,
could
God.
happen. You could probably rig this up to work.
Oh god.
Strap like the friggin'
You know, I kind
thermal
of
on
feel
your
bad
face.
for the ex-husband. I mean, come on. Can you imagine, talking to your friend, so, I heard you got divorced. What happened? Yeah, she's sleeping with ghosts. I guess it must be better than me.
Apparently.
I feel kind of bad for the ghosts too. Like,
Well, she's not terrible looking, so
She's not.
like
Well,
if you cut the hair,
it looks like a guy.
it kind of does
Yeah.
look like a dude. If you take
And
it
her
off.
eyes are all black. That's kind of.
Yeah. So
wow.
I mean,
So
real women sleep with Bigfoot.
would that be considered a possession? Seeing as how the ghosts are
Inside.
An internal possession.
Yes.
Is that ectoplasm on my back?
Yes.
Or are you happy to see me?
Did you finish or did you just come through the wall?
Yeah. How does that work?
Oh,
Is there
man.
any footage of this?
Not
Hey,
yet.
not yet.
I'm sure if we Google ghost porn,
What's
though.
it called?
Is it-
Slimer?
Yeah. Is there a Patreon? She might have one.
Oh, who knows? Maybe. This next one we'll let Anthony cover because he knows a little more. I guess I was out of the loop on this one.
Oh yeah, Tom DeLonge. Yeah. People think he's crazy because he believes in aliens and he's basically just open-minded.
Let's bring it back for people who don't know who he is.
He used to be the guitarist of Blink-182. He is no longer with the band, even though some people, for some reason, think he is. He went off on his own, made a bunch of solo albums, wrote wrote and illustrated, I guess you could say, a bunch of books. Has multiple books. He has his conspiracy theories. He has his conspiracy theories with Hillary Clinton, which apparently there is a bunch of stuff on that.
Well, that's not too hard to figure out.
Yeah.
And he's always been in the ghosts. Like, you ever listen to the Blink-182 song Aliens Exist? And majority of his lyrics are, not that they're out there, but people think he's crazy. And he's not really crazy. He's just open-minded, and there's worse people than him.
Well, the cool thing now, too, is he's written books on the subject.
Yep.
And TBS has actually picked it up as a series called Strange Times, I believe it's going to be
Something
called.
like that, yeah.
So we're going to have
Cool.
it'd be kind of cool, like a rock star twist on the paranormal world, which is...
Oddly enough, it kind of started with his side project, Angels and Airwaves. They actually, when you go to his show, he made like movies in the background that are playing on the screen while you're watching him play with his band and everything. So they kind of turned that into this.
so like a fully immersive, like not just audio, but visual.
Yeah, it was a visual with the audio and stuff. So basically, he had like a movie. It's literally like a full-on movie produced and everything behind them while they're playing the entire show.
That's cool, man. I look forward to that.
So does Blink still have any original members now? Travis Barker left, right?
Travis isn't original anyways.
Well, yeah.
Scott was the original. Mark is technically the only original member, but it's Mark, Travis, and...
Didn't he get into a plane crash or something?
Yeah, he did. And
Maybe
he
shot
got
down
burned.
by UFOs.
No, it was him and another guy. The other guy with him, I believe, died, but he just got a couple burns and stuff. It's actually the guy that replaced him is the guy from Alkaline Trio.
Okay.
Last I knew. I don't know what they're doing now.
Wow,
But-
can you imagine he went down in a plane too?
Yeah, I
And
think
survived.
he only got burnt
Yeah,
on,
he was
on his legs
messed
and
up.
stuff. His legs mostly got burnt, which is oddly enough because he's a drummer. Like, what are the odds of that?
Yeah.
But
That's insane.
I believe the other guy with him was a DJ. I believe he died.
Yeah.
I can't remember. It's been years since that
And
happened.
long time. That just ages us a little bit. Shows how old
Yeah.
we really are. Like
That's
I remember in high school, these guys were just kind of coming out. Like Travis was the original drummer for Aquabats.
Yep.
For all the ska fans out there.
He still actually does a couple shows here and there with Aquabats,
Yeah.
too, which is really cool.
They're great live too. So I think that's all we really have for the paranormal news. Let me just consult the thing over here. Let me hop on the internet real quick.
Just check it out. That's a cool idea, though. I like that he's actually opening up on what he believes in.
Oh, he's always been about it, but people never really like knew or took him too seriously on it.
Right.
But it's like if you look at all his lyrics and all his music and shit.
Oh, yeah.
And then he did Boxcar Racer when he got hurt and he hurt his back and everything. And then people were basically Mark was pissed off because Travis helped him with the drums and touring on that.
Yeah.
And then he went back to Blink, and then more shit happened. And then he just did Angels and Airwaves, and then he did his solo albums, and then he started.
Solo albums are doing pretty good, too.
Yeah. Then he started the whole visual, like, we're going to play a soundtrack, which is our songs, to this movie that people created. And it actually is a pretty awesome thing. And
Cool.
now went to this. He actually has his own production company, and his sister and his mom work for him.
Awesome.
And it's like this whole giant thing. Like, he's actually doing a lot of shit. But then they got into he's doing conspiracy shit with Hillary Clinton. They're talking about aliens, and he's crazy.
Of course.
Like, he's
of
not
course.
crazy, dude.
No.
Like, there's nothing crazy about him.
It's not too hard to kind of look into that stuff and see that there is some
Well, if you have different
conspiracy
opinions
theories.
from other people, you're
Yeah.
automatically crazy.
Right.
I mean, the flat Earth people.
We were just watching some documentaries on flat earthers. If there's any out there, we don't mean to make fun, but
Wow.
stop. Seriously. Like,
personally, it's a little worse than Scientology.
yeah.
Like, it's a little.
It's ridiculous.
Flat earthers.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
the Earth is flat. Is this what are we?
well,
being-
it's shaped like a pizza.
Yes, and the what was it? The Antarctica is around
It's
it.
a 200-foot tall wall of ice that makes the water stay in.
Okay, picture it this way: you have a clock, and then the hands. That is the
The sun and the moon, they rotate around us.
That's
yeah.
what they believe.
So there's some documentaries on
Wow.
YouTube.
Talk
You can check
about not thinking outside the box.
it. Yeah, or outside the globe.
Outside the globe.
Oh yeah, what was it? NASA is
Whoa.
Nazis, and
They're run by Nazis, and what did they say?
I forgot what the other thing was.
Something.
Wow.
Yeah, devil worshippers or something.
Oh yeah, it was Satanists and Nazis made up.
Oh, geez.
Satanists and Nazis made up NASA. That's what it is.
Oh, that's great.
yes.
Wow, amazing.
So
And the moon is made of cheese.
That's
no,
correct. Well, it's not round. That's
Yeah,
for
it's not
sure.
round.
It's flat.
so
Does not exist.
in other news, for fans of the show Kindred Spirits, which is on TLC, I want to say.
Wow.
Travel Channel, sorry,
Travel
Travel Channel, which is Amy Bruni's show. They just got renewed for third season, which is awesome.
Awesome.
But one cool thing about Kindred Spirits is they filmed an episode the next town over from us in the Brookfields.
Did they?
Yeah. So yeah, kind of weird connections like
I
that.
see.
So
Isn't that interesting?
So I think that will conclude this segment of paranormal news. But now we're talking about TV and the medias. Let's take a little bit of time. It's been a while since we talked about the paranormal movies and stuff. A bunch of new stuff came out. A bunch of new stuff's coming out. Well, let's start off with, how about The Nun?
Oh,
So
man.
Lauren's not with us tonight. She liked The Nun, if I
Wait a
remember
minute.
correctly.
Isn't
Yes,
it like
she
Satan
did.
worshiping?
It is.
Satanic.
Well, first off, it's pure bullshit.
Yes.
Yeah, I watched about 10
Pure
minutes of it.
bullshit.
I watched the entire thing. There is zombies, hands shooting out everywhere.
Yep.
The main basis of it has to do with Satanists.
Yes.
Valak, which is not a real demon, is just a demon. Was never a nun. It just takes the form of a nun because that's where it was summoned in a Vatican or
Right.
whatever the hell it's called.
Right.
One of the big
nunnery,
problems,
sorry.
I think, is that they're taking actual cases the Warrens did and, like,
Mixing them in.
yeah,
just-
Frenchie.
They're trying to say
They
Frenchie
can't-
was there. That
They
never
can't
happened.
throw that
Yeah,
in
that's,
there. That
you know,
was horrendous.
only, like, what, 400 years early? Like,
Yeah. Nope, that's physically impossible. But
horrendous.
They are doing a Conjuring 3, which now it sounds like it might be a made-up storyline. The rumors are it's about a man on trial for murder who says the devil possessed him to make him kill. So,
which I believe the nun is. That's why they put Frenchie in the nun because he is supposed to be probably that. I would
Yeah.
assume
we should do a full episode of the podcast about Frenchie.
the correct story.
The correct
not,
story,
not,
yeah.
You're in the process of reading the book now.
yeah, not the
Um,
crap that James
I've
Wan
read the
is
book
spewing.
multiple times.
Yeah, I've read it. I think Lauren might have read it, but if you grew up in our area, like it was literally
Yep.
where Sam lived in Warren.
It's like
you
a
could,
half hour from us.
from
20
us. No,
minutes.
it's
20
not even.
minutes?
I can get there in 10.
10, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
10
you could
minutes.
walk from Sam's
Yep.
old house and get there in
Yeah.
about 10
Yep.
minutes.
Yeah, we've driven past it multiple times.
That's great.
So.
Actually, the people who lived there bought it for a song and a dance because of the whole Frenchie thing.
Yeah. So what other? I don't know if you guys saw it, but The Haunting of Hill House, based on the book from the 50s or 60s.
Did not. I've been hearing about it, but
Fantastic. Like there were it feels kind of drawn out, but I think they needed to do it to tell the story
I heard it was
properly.
amazing, but there's a couple of things. But if those don't bother you, it's
But
amazing.
it definitely like plays on fears the way it should be, which we were going to talk about later. That's one of the things we want to discuss tonight is fear. But it's not just like jump scares; it like creepy stuff. And then I watched the full series in about a night. Like I stayed up all night. Then it was a big thing online, and they put all these videos online talking about how pretty much anytime they're in the house, you can see ghosts in the background, and you go back and watch it, and there's literally like dozens of ghosts will just be standing in the room behind them. You don't notice the first time you watch it again. You're like, my God, there's a ghost there, or like, and then they go back and explain stuff, and you're like, oh, that makes sense. But
Isn't that like real life though?
yeah, it's like saying they're always there, and it was really well done. I think there's rumors of a second season. Which
Yeah, I think I
don't
heard
know.
that
where
too.
was it filmed?
I looked it up. It's based off of made-up town in Massachusetts. Because they actually mention areas around us. They mention Goshen, which
Yeah,
I
Goshen,
camp
yeah.
out there a lot.
Yep, no, Goshen.
A lot of it takes place out in Boston, but the house itself is in a made-up town in Massachusetts, if I remember
Okay.
correctly. But I believe it was filmed in California,
Okay.
as most of these things are. Like all the house itself was actually sound stages.
Okay. Right. Right. Right.
It's just easier to do that.
But
nowadays.
pretty neat though. Yeah.
But
Good-
no,
good-
yeah, like just aesthetically, it was a beautiful series. Like good scares, good story. My big complaint is I watched the first probably episode and a half, and I thought there was one lady in it. There's like 5 chicks in this
Yeah.
the series that all look identical, and I'm like, oh wait, so that's the mom, and there's a bunch of sisters and like cousins and
Daughters
their neighbors' dog. Like they all look alike. So it took me a while to be like, oh, okay, there's multiple people, but it was pretty good.
Would you be able to compare it to the first season of American Horror Story or no?
American Horror Story. Let's talk about that real
That
quick.
first
Oh
season
my
was I loved
gosh.
it.
I loved it.
So for me, it
Absolutely.
was Coven, then that one. But this new season came out, Apocalypse.
Yeah.
My God, my dick has never been that hard in my life. Such a fantastic series.
Oh.
Now they're saying, what I heard, probably just rumors, but they're saying the new one is going to pick up where Apocalypse left off because they kind of like have some weird like
Yeah.
time travel type stuff so they can prevent the apocalypse. But the Antichrist is born again as a different person, and it's going to do the whole thing again supposedly. But it tied together all the other seasons. Like it was an amazing the other ones, like, you do have your slow moments where, like, they're trying to, but this one's, like, nonstop. Like,
Yeah.
I love that. I'll love that show for all time.
Nice.
Even the seasons I don't like, I like.
Yeah.
Like Freak Show, not my favorite.
That is the one I'm stuck on. I'm halfway through, and not that I can't bring myself to finish it. It's just
It's not as riveting as the other ones.
Kind of boring.
Yeah, and
like-
then Cult. Like, I hate politics with a passion. Like, I'm not registered to vote. It's the one before this last one. It's about.
so yeah, I haven't seen
It's
it
all
yet.
about the Hillary fucking Trump elections and shit
Oh,
like
okay.
that.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I did see parts of that
But-
where the kid who played Tate in the first season, he's the kid with the long hair. And
Yeah, like, I
purple
hate
hair or
politics,
whatever.
and that was a very enjoyable season. Like,
Yeah.
if I was into politics, I probably would have loved it.
Yeah, I seen one episode with you actually, is where they were kidnapping people with the masks on and
Yeah.
beating the crap out of them.
And then even, like, Asylum. First time I saw Asylum, was not a fan. I watched it again, and then I'm like, no, it's a good
Yeah.
season.
It took a few.
Asylum was good. I
Took a
saw
few
Asylum.
episodes.
You really have to, like, watch the whole, not just season, but whole series
The
as a
crazy
whole,
thing
time
about
again.
these two is that if you watch them again, you see something else.
You pick up stuff.
Yeah, it's neat because it's got a lot of different things in the background that you didn't notice, and it just grabs you in. It pulls you
Yeah,
in.
and
It's
it's a
exciting.
really good case for a paranormal show because it's not just ghosts.
Yeah, yeah, it's
they have
everything.
aliens, they have
Yeah.
demons, they have.
Which is paranormal, but everybody thinks it's ghosts when you say that, and it's
Yeah.
really not. It's a small portion.
The only thing we didn't have is Bigfoot, but we did have the monsters in the woods in Asylum,
Yeah.
the little like
Yeah.
zombie mutant things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a fantastic series. What else for paranormal stuff that's been out? TV, movies.
Oh, jeez.
I've been on an Office kick again lately.
Yeah, I'm already back on season 9. It's almost over.
I started about 4 weeks ago, and I've watched it. I'm almost on my third time in the last month. Like, I can't stop watching the
Like
Office.
once you start, you're like, oh, this is gonna take forever. But then I'm already on season 9. I'm like, I just started it. Like,
A month ago, I finished it. The last episode finished, and I just went back and started it again.
I still have not seen the internet season or
Oh,
episodes
yeah.
or whatever.
They're
I hear
pretty-
they're not as good.
They're not as good. There are some good moments.
Yeah.
It's all the B characters. You don't get like Michael or
Yeah,
Jim
yeah.
or Pam. It's like Kevin and Oscar, Creed. You get some Creed. which
Creed's
is-
hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't care. He's hilarious.
I don't know. I've been on a Stephen King kick, so I've been watching Pet Cemetery. That's
What do you think of the upcoming remake?
Oh,
Trailers
You
look
know,
amazing, but the
trailers-
trailers for the Nun looked good too.
amazing.
Yeah, that's how they
so
usually go.
I worried because sometimes when they remake things, they don't do as well a job.
But with Stephen King, I think it's the opposite because The Shining, the Stanley Kubrick one from the 70s, was it 70s or 60s? I think it was 70s.
The TV remake.
The TV remake was fantastic. It was
Yeah, it was.
almost 100% accurate with the book. Pretty close, anyways.
Yeah.
They had the right end in, like a lot more. So, like the miniseries are like The Stand or what was that other one? Perfect Storm? Was that or something?
Perfect.
That was a movie. Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
a movie.
That was a long.
There's
They,
Rose Red. That was long as hell.
Yeah.
But that was
Rose Red
amazing as well.
Yeah,
that,
Rose Red was great.
That was a
Well
haunting
written.
one. That was
Yep.
all haunting.
so
And they were very good at it too.
Yes.
It was
And-
it was realistic.
Oh,
Yeah.
How about this for a recent Stephen King remake?
Yeah, it was.
I liked it.
amazing.
Fantastic. I
Loved
can't
it.
wait for the second one.
Loved it.
It's
Absolutely
kind of
loved
weird.
it.
Like, I don't think the book jumped from past to present, back and forth. Like,
Not as much.
No.
But the original movie from the 80s or miniseries, whatever it was, I think it was a movie.
It was
Yeah.
a movie.
It was
But
a movie.
that bounced back. This is kind of weird where, like, the first movie was them as a kid and the second one's going to be them as adults.
What I like
Yeah.
about that movie too is they on the fears they always they showed the fears
There's
of
our
every
topic
kid
again.
too,
Yep.
which
Yep.
is awesome. You know, and that one kid that had that evil mother or something or grand that was the picture on the wall
Oh,
that
yeah,
ended
it was
up
all-
coming amazing.
Though for me, it was the guy who was, like, all rotten. He
The
looked
zombie
like,
in
he
the
looked like a
yard.
homeless
Yes,
Jesus.
yes.
Like,
That
Yeah.
guy was a.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
like,
chasing him.
I'm pretty
chasing
sure
him
that's
from
the
the
guy
house.
that lives in my dumpster
Yeah.
behind my house.
Right.
I've seen him on a.
We see them walking around town all the time.
Working in a pharmacy, I see him
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
so often getting some boxes.
I like when they levitated him at the end. You know, they were inside the actual water
Yeah, well,
thing.
the
and-
special effects nowadays,
That's
we can
amazing.
do the things that these authors. You know, I used to be so anti CGI because I'm a diehard practical
Depending.
effect. Like, I love special effects makeup
Yeah.
and squibs for the blood and stuff.
house.
But then, like, Lord of the Rings really changed my view on that because you couldn't do those battles.
There's some things that.
That was a good example of mixing
Yes.
both perfectly. Like, you got your makeup and your creature effects, and then you got your CGI.
Yeah.
But with computers nowadays, like,
There's just some though that
some
it does
are,
not
like-
cut it.
which
like-
is weird because you see these kids at home making their own Star Wars movies that are just as good as
yeah,
like
yeah.
the
There's
Disney
some definitely
version.
good ones
Yeah.
on YouTube.
But yeah, a lot of good horror coming out. I could have swore there was something else I was just watching recently. Maybe not. I don't know.
I feel like there's more things. I just
Yeah,
can't
I've
think
been
of them.
watching. Like I said, I've been on a binge. I got a horror collection, and I watched The Howling again. That was really good. I liked that. That had to be one of the best werewolf changes
Yeah.
with The Howling. The Howling. was
Nothing
amazing.
beats an American,
American
Werewolf
Werewolf
But
in
American
London.
Werewolf in London.
John
was really
Landis,
good.
thank you for that movie.
That
Yep.
where the
Don't watch the sequel though; it sucks.
the
Yeah.
actual no, it
They
sucks.
usually do.
Same with The Howling. I mean, it sucks too with the sequels. But yeah, just love that old time thing. And then I'm going way back. I watched Nosferatu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just the highest. Most
I saw a good
amazing-
meme the other day on Instagram. It showed a picture of Nosferatu being all angry, and it said, "Don't be a Nosferatu, be a Yesferatu."
Oh yes, I saw that. He's smiling. Yes. Yes.
Awesome.
No, like I don't know. Maybe it's just because the generation we grew up. But I feel horror movies, even like action adventure movies in the '80s, you can't beat. Like they're getting
Yeah,
good
no,
again.
they still hold up too.
Yeah. Like Goonies, best movie ever. Like any of the Monster Squad, like
Yep.
Monster Squad was great.
horror movies. Yeah, there was cheesy stuff. That's just how we lived in the '80s.
Yeah,
Was
and
cheesy.
that's how it was. So what do you want? You can't do anything about that.
Yeah, but stories and like very original. Like we're just remaking everything now, so we must have done something right.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like we said, it's been about a year almost since we did a podcast. Last one was with Jeff Belanger, I believe. What up,
Yep.
JB? So we've had a busy friggin' year. That's why we haven't done one of these. We
Real
actually
busy.
had to kind of work hard to get us together. Lauren had a business meeting or something. So yeah, what did we do this past year after our last podcast?
What didn't we do? It's been
We filmed a whole season, 12 episodes plus some. We did some minisodes of our web show. Check it out.
subscribe.
We made some cool friends doing that too. Actually, a year ago yesterday, we filmed in Connecticut at Brandon's house.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Brandon
For all you Nitro Circus fans out there, I want to give a shout out to our friend Brandon Schmidt,
What's up?
who does
What's up, Schmitty?
he does bikes
BMX.
for BMX for Nitro, and he's actually a nasty snowboarder too.
Yeah.
We got to investigate. Him and his girlfriend bought a house, and we got to investigate that with them. And
What's up, Maura?
hey, so yeah, we got to know them pretty good, and we had a good time there. Good episode. And then we did some traveling. That was the big thing.
Oh man, the traveling was great. There's so many stories there. Motel sucks.
Yeah. So you guys will see the episodes. Actually, it's gonna be 2 episodes for this. We're splitting into 2 for our finale. Is we went to St. Albans Sanatorium down in Radford, Virginia, which is a 14-hour car ride from us. We did it in 10.
Yep.
We
course.
rented a sick 2018 fully loaded Chevy Suburban, 110 the whole way down.
Yes.
But, oh my God, what a trip! We had the 4 of us and Anthony's brother Mike. Mike did camera work for us down there. We made a long weekend. We did 3-4 days? I don't even remember. Some of this is a haze. Might
We
have been
left
4 days.
Thursday, came back Sunday.
Yeah. So we'll go into that story a little bit. So we had our ride down, and the cool thing is we filmed not just the episode, but we filmed everything. We're making a documentary, which will be out this year. We are calling, name right now is The Road to St. Albans, because it's not about just the road there, but the road we had to travel to get funds together and get equipment and just get to where we needed to be.
We filmed I think a month or 2 before we left.
Yeah, there's a
something
lot
like
of typical documentary.
2
You're gonna
months?
see all the bad shit we went through, like computer crashes, losing footage, recovering all the stuff, the interviews.
that. Basically, the shit hit the fan before we even
Yeah,
left.
Yeah.
everything was
was
against
bad.
us for this trip, and we pulled it out of our asses. And we had literally probably the best time I ever had in my life. Like
Yeah,
this is
amazing.
honestly my best experience. And I've done a lot of crazy shit. I recently got into traveling to went to the Bahamas a couple times. Like I've gone to Hawaii. Like I've gone to crazy concerts. Anthony's done crazy stuff as far as concerts. Like this was literally my best experience of my life so far. And
Basically, it was a week jammed into 3 days.
yeah. So we had our crew, which we were close before, but when you guys live in a vehicle and then some shitty hotels, you become real close. So the ride down, nothing too crazy happened. We arrived at 4:40 a.m. I believe.
Yeah.
We stayed in a town called Chelmsford, some small
Yeah.
town in Virginia. Virginia, let me tell you, by the way, is nothing but mountains and that's
rolling hills.
Yeah, that's about it. There's nothing down there. We're up in the Blue Mountain Range.
It's like driving through Scotland.
Yeah, it was like Middle Earth looking.
Yeah.
Chelmsford. No, that was Pennsylvania. Okay, that's later.
It's somewhere in
Yeah.
Virginia.
So we got there almost 5 a.m. The people there were really nice. They gave us our first night for free. Or no, was it? Did we stay there 2 nights? Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
So our first night was free. We slept no time whatsoever.
I think we slept for 2-3 hours.
Yeah, we got there. And we did a little bonding exercise down there. We all made tattoo appointments and got matching Pac-Man ghost tattoos.
Yep.
So then, yeah, we went to the tattoo shop, which was like a mile from the asylum. And then we went back to the hotel and slept for like an hour. And then we went to the asylum for 6. And I can't even describe in words. Like, you'll see it on video, but videos and pictures, because I've seen this from other, like, it was on the show the Tennessee Wraith Chasers do.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of these paranormal
Yeah.
shows. And, like, when we booked this, like, I saw those shows, and I'm like, oh, it's not that big of a place. But when you're walking there, our walkthrough with the people that work there was about 2 hours.
Yeah. It was like a mix between a hotel and a mall.
Yeah. And then as we were setting up, we got lost. As
Yep.
we were filming the episode, doing the investigation, we got lost. This place, if I can try to put it into some perspective, there were above ground 4 floors, I believe.
Yeah.
Then there was a basement, and under the basement was a basement. And there were so many stairwells. I can't even, probably 150 rooms. There was a bowling alley in this place. There was a morgue. There was the lab where they experimented on people.
Laboratory.
They would do new procedures, lobotomies, like any scary movie you ever saw with the old insane asylum.
There's the bird cage.
We were there. Yeah, they have like a patio deck
A jail.
that is literally got a fence attached to the walls and the roof so you can't escape. That was the fresh air the patients got, and people were tortured there. Cool bit of history. In the 80s, a guy kidnapped a woman and murdered her, and they think that he hid the body on the property, but they never found it. But talk about an intense night. And it was creepy to begin with, but the more we were there, the more like it felt at home kind of in a weird way. Like I felt comfortable there. Like it was, the spirits were definitely very inviting and welcoming. There were a couple weird experiences, which we're not going to ruin. We got to get you guys to watch that episode and hit that subscribe button. But yeah, we went till 2 or 3 in the morning. We were just so tired. Like we slept about 3 hours in 2 or 3 days. So we were crashing. But an intense time. And then the next day...
No, then there was a gas station that night.
Oh, so next to our hotel is a truck stop.
The best
like
one
these are
ever.
like the middle of nowhere. The truckers go there. There's a little diner so you can go get
Sack
your
of
grits. So this place, ridiculous. You walk in, there's a coat tree as soon as you walk in, but there are sacks of hams just hanging by the door.
Yeah, that was great.
They had billy clubs for sale. They had the best food though.
That lady had to have hated us.
We were showing up every morning at like 5 a.m., 4 a.m.
Ordering a bunch of food.
Your brother disappeared and found beer somewhere. I
I
don't
don't
know
even know
where
where
he
he
went because
went.
there's literally our hotel, the gas station next door, and then about 300 miles of mountains.
He was calling Packies, and like it was like a 1 to 3 mile walk down the road.
Yeah,
And
like
he just disappeared and came back hours later.
yeah. So it was a good time. I learned that you don't share a room with Tim unless you have earplugs.
Yeah, I have a tendency to snore.
um,
A little bit.
so then the second part of this trip is we moseyed on up to Pennsylvania. We were for our Gettysburg investigation, and we had reservations at a Motel 6. You know, we're classy. We like the
Oh, yeah.
So-
Beautiful.
So we kind of scoped out these places online. You look at the screenshots and you look at the reviews real quick.
Looked amazing. I
Yeah.
mean, nice fire. nice.
Yeah, the lobby was beautiful. All like porcelain tiles on the floor, big fireplace, leather sofas. Looked amazing.
Nice and clean.
So we go in. We're excited. We're tired. We're gonna investigate Gettysburg at night. He gives us our room keys and he's like, just head down open this door and there's hallways, and you open it and it's
Food on the
what was
floor.
that Revenge of the Nerd movie where Booger was learning from the sensei? That's this hotel.
Yep.
Like there is literally every carpet. You didn't play Find the Stain. You had to
No.
play Find the Spot that doesn't have a stain.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There was blood on the walls. There was like piles of food, not
There
on
was-
plates, but just like trails of food on the carpet.
Blood
went-
on the sheets.
Tim and I went to our room. We had adjoining rooms with Anthony and his brother.
Which was cool. I like that idea.
Yeah.
Our
It was
door
gonna be
was
awesome.
wide open for some
Yeah.
reason. Our door didn't close,
Yeah.
and it smelled like cigarettes so bad. And we were excited just because we were going to party that night. And we walked around the facilities, and it just got grosser the deeper we went.
The pool.
The pool they use as a dumpster. There's bags
there
of
was
trash
stuff
around
thrown in
it.
the pool, and there was
Um,
giant bags of trash at the end of the in the hallway and outside the door.
We go to check out the bathrooms. Remember how sticky the floors
Yeah.
were? Like my
Oh,
shoes
my
almost fell off. And then as we investigated, the armrests of all the chairs were stolen. And then we looked at our beds. This is what made, thank God Lauren played mom on the trip. We looked at our bed, and I'm like, great, mine is covered in fur. Like, it looked like a dog had died.
Or
There was
something
literally
else.
chunks of fur, a shit smear, and Tim had blood all over his
Yeah,
blankets.
it looked like someone shot up and the blood squirted out.
It was
of them or-
disgusting.
I don't know. It was pretty bad.
And
it
I
was
think
funny.
we had the cleanest room out of the three of us,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah. We don't even know what Lauren's look like.
So
honestly.
Lauren, being the good lady she is, she went up to the front desk. She's like, I'm going to give them an earful. I'm getting our money back. She found us a hotel a town over for the same price that was supposedly nice. And she literally went up to the hotel desk and was like, our rooms are disgusting. I want the money back. And the guy just looked at her like, I know.
Okay.
And he gave the money back, no problem. So,
Yeah, I remember when we walked down there. I'm like, looks like we're sleeping on the dust covers. boys."
so
the funny part, when we got to the second hotel, we were informed that that's actually a crack hotel where
Yeah.
they deal crack out of.
Oh,
Yeah, if you want to,
shoot heroin.
if you head over to our YouTube channel, there's a video posted called Motel Sucks. You can kind of see that's the PG version. The documentary is going to have some additional footage, some better footage.
Yes.
The gym. We didn't
The
talk
gym.
about the gym.
Oh my
broken
God.
gym.
So
The socks.
The gym was
brother.
The
it
treadmill.
was a room. There was a treadmill that someone had stole the motor out. There was wires hanging out of it. The weights were missing. It was just like the
bar.
bars and like the pulleys.
Your brother was leaning, pushing
And
it over.
there was nasty used socks everywhere.
They were standing up.
Oh, it was so bad. So we go over to Charmsburg.
Yep.
Yep.
So we stayed at this lovely place called Country Inn and Suites by Radisson out in Gettysburg. Thank you guys for saving our trip.
Amazing place.
So we walked into this place. Like outside, it just looks like a building, and
Yeah.
like it was kind of like in a weird parking lot with like the go kart tracks next door, and like it's a busy freeway. So we just wanted to not get Hep C
Yeah.
by sleeping.
Yeah, right. Like we
And-
didn't want to be itching on.
Do you guys remember the smell when we walked in? The fresh cookies.
Yes.
Yes.
She's like, "Oh, sorry, it took me so long to." Like, she was literally. It took her a second to get the counter. She's like, "Oh, sorry, I took so long. I'm making the fresh baked cookies. If you want to wait a minute." We're like, "What?"
we took the whole thing.
And we were like, "Do you guys have blood on your floor?" And she's like, "What?" But we will stay here.
we told her where.
Um,
She's like, oh, that's
They
where
had
it's so
the
crack
coffee
out of.
bar laid out. There's a fireplace in the lobby, and it almost looked like a hunting lodge. It was like it
Yeah.
had like the wood and like very warm. And as we were checking in, we were scoping out like the pool. And they had like the continental breakfast. I love being incontinent.
It was good.
Then we went up to our rooms, which were fantastic. The bathrooms were beautiful with giant vanities, his and hers.
No sticky
This
floors.
place gave every bed 3 pillows instead of
Yeah.
the standard 2 or the standard 0 at the Motel Sucks.
Right.
Um,
We were lucky. I think one of us didn't have a sheet at Motel Sucks.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
just the
A
sheet.
comforter was missing.
yeah, it was bad. But yeah, this place was fantastic. And it was super cheap, too.
Yeah, it was
like,
cheaper than the other place.
It was like
Yeah.
$51 a night. What I think maybe Pennsylvania's a little cheaper because like up here, ours started like $108 a night for a place like that,
Yeah.
if not more. Like when I was doing tattoo conventions in Connecticut, we had to pay, I want to say like $250 a night we were paying.
Wow.
So
I've stayed in some pretty shitty places for $20, which was better than the Motel Sucks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Right.
like that place, we would have woken up without kidneys.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But yes, this place that we stayed at, super friendly staff, super helpful. Place was gorgeous.
Cookies were awesome.
We went and got some dinner, and we actually walked through the parking lots, and there's a giant storm coming.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
that's right.
And because of the rain, we ended up not being able to investigate Gettysburg. So we
It
did
was
what
tornado warning. That was.
yeah, we did what every professional paranormal investigator would do in that situation is we went
Got
bar
drunk.
hopping and got shit faced.
Yeah.
So Anthony, I think you stayed at the hotels, right? You were
Yep.
kind of beat. I think you
Yeah.
got less sleep than all of us because you actually had to work. Like all of us got to take an extra
Yeah,
day off,
yeah.
but you couldn't get that extra day. So Tim, myself, Lauren, and Mike went out to
The racist bar.
No, well, that was the bar we stayed at, which
Yes.
we didn't do that on purpose. But the first bar we walked in,
Oh man.
we were literally the only ones there. And you know, like you go to a bar and they have the neon signs for their products. No, they would take their 30-pack and just cut the side of the box
Yeah,
off, and they
yeah.
stapled it to the
Cardboard
wall to advertise they sold it.
Yeah.
Even the vodka. Even the vodka had the label, like from the actual vodka
It was-
bottle.
And there was no pool tables, no dartboards. We were sitting there, and they were serving us like Dixie cups. Like we got Lauren's a margarita drinker. We found out.
Yeah.
They give her like a solo cup with a margarita, like no salt, no nothing, and like it was just eerily silent. And
And then all of a sudden, some random guy comes in and stumbles in and like misses the stool and falls down. And then wasn't it a cop that came in and grabbed him and said, "We've been looking for you."
it was crazy. And then we kind of looked at the bartender and were like, how do we put this? Are there any fun bars around here? And she's like, yeah, if you go down the street over here, look for this place called so-and-so. They got pool tables and they do music. They're really fun. That's the bar I go to. So when the bartender at the bar you're at is telling you the bar
Yeah,
she
go to
goes
another
to.
one.
So we went, excuse me, we went to this other bar, which was kind of reminded me of Roadhouse a little when you walked in, but pool
time.
tables everywhere. There's
I'll never forget
DJs.
the faces of the people when we put like some Metallica on.
Well,
or
yeah.
something.
So we start off and like they got a DJ's finishing his set of doing like R&B and hip hop, and we're playing pool. And Anthony's brother Mike has the TouchTune apps for the TouchTune jukeboxes, and Mike was not afraid to dump
No.
50, $100 in one of those and
He
just
is
take
not.
over the jukebox.
Oh yeah.
And he'll put on the most.
So what was a
Yeah.
country / hip hop bar? We threw on a couple songs to get the crowd going. We threw on some Cardi B and some Nicki Minaj to get the girls all like, "Oh, this is my jam! Oh shit!" And then cue the Slayer.
Yeah.
And I remember the look on the bartender. We look up and the bartender looks at us. He's like,
We
"You
smile.
guys, come here!" And we're like, "Oh
Whoa,
shit, we're in
shit.
trouble." And your brother went up. He's like, "Yeah, what's up?" And he's like, "Did you put this on?" And your brother's like, "Yeah, why?" He goes, "Thank fucking God someone put on some good music. Let's crank it."
Yeah,
and
he
then
was
him and your
awesome.
brother talked about metal concerts for like a half hour.
Yeah.
We played pool for hours. We got drunk.
The interesting thing about that is there's two pool tables there. One is closer to the bathroom
I was
than
gonna
the
say
other.
the toilet.
and then all of a sudden this water started coming out of the bathroom and thank God we weren't over there because it took over the pool table. On
The
that
people
side.
at the other pool table had to leave because their feet got soaked with nasty toilet water.
Yeah,
Awesome.
you know,
Um,
stepping in piss and
Yeah, but we rocked it.
hey,
and then,
whatever. We had fun.
we got
it was a
pretty
good time.
drunk, and then
No, we got
some of the
drunk.
locals started talking to us. We met the most racist dude in the world.
I hear you got stuff in your water. The guy says. I said I think.
Yeah,
there's
he
more
heard
stuff
about the
in your
small
water."
town in Massachusetts we live about,
Yeah.
and that we have stuff in our water.
Yeah, that's what makes
Which
us
is funny
crazy.
because one of our friends actually works for the water department. Lauren is very good friends with them, and she's like,
Right.
no,
No.
not true.
No.
But he was talking about conspiracies and dropping some colorful language that I'm not going to repeat here because
Yeah.
I respect people.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we had we went back to the hotel, got a little bit of sleep.
Oh, we didn't go back to the hotel.
Oh
We-
no,
No, you did not.
Oh, I
we went
thought-
to Wings.
There's footage of it too. There's
Oh god.
footage.
Oh, yeah.
So
It's not bad. It's
this
pretty
will
good.
all be in the documentary, by the way. You're gonna see. We drove back. Lauren only had like a drink or two, and we were there a long time. So she safely drove us back to the hotel, where Tim, Mike, and myself decided that we were not done partying. It was only 1 a.m.
Yeah, right.
and there was a 24 hours Buffalo Bill Wild Wing, only a quick mile walk up the highway.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we instead of walking the highway, we decided to go through the fields.
Oh, yes.
Oh
the field.
boy, the field.
And yeah, like it seemed like it took us days to get there.
Well, funny thing, while you guys were out at the bar, I was looking across the field. I was like, "No, not doing it." And I was sober.
Yep. So we moseyed on up to the bar, and we were already pretty drunk.
Yeah.
And you could tell the bartender was pretty annoyed with us already, but then
Oh, yeah.
she found out what we were doing in the area, filming some paranormal, and she's a huge fan. So if you're listening to the podcast, hey, we're sober now. Sorry for being assholes.
Right.
But yeah. So we had some more drinks, and then we decided to try the ghost
Ghost
chili
Reaper.
pepper wings, which the footage of that is hilarious.
Yeah,
I think I handled it the best. Tim, the video of you where you're chewing it, and you can see the split second when
Where-
your body is like, I should be dead right now.
I'm going. You are an asshole.
And I've never seen Mike cry in my life. That was the first time. He had tears streaming down his face.
Well, it was one of those, like, he's laughing, but he's crying
Yep.
because he's like, fuck, I screwed up.
Oh yeah.
But the best part of that whole buffalo wing challenge was the next day at some random gas station bathroom in
Oh, yeah.
Pennsylvania.
no.
So we had to make a
Waiting
pit stop
in line
Well,
for
not,
that.
not even that. I think
He even apologized to the
Well,
guy before he went in.
he-
Sorry, buddy.
after you guys left, I think he came home in the hotel room about 3, 4 in the morning and woke me up. I'm like, well, what the hell's going on? Oh, I'm just getting back. It's 4 in the morning. We got to be up at like 6 to leave.
We were sitting in a parking lot still drinking. You and your brother, because we stole some lawn chairs
Oh, I
from
know.
one of the thing and
I've
sat
seen
out
it.
in the parking lot
Yeah.
drinking.
Yeah, it was fun. And then, the rest stop where he had
Yeah.
a bathroom emergency, and he
For-
was in there for a while.
Yeah.
And while he was in there, a line built up in the middle of nowhere. And I wish we would have filmed this because the look when he comes out and he looks at the guy and he just starts laughing and walks away.
He said sorry.
Yeah, because he was
The guy
farting
went
pretty
in.
fierce.
The guy went in and he like stuck his head out like, well, what am I doing?
So yeah, and then we drove home the next day. We took our time. We
Wow.
relaxed. It was a fantastic trip. Like I said, best moment of my life. Just hanging out with the people I love most in this world, doing what we love the most, and just feeling like a rock star for a little bit. Like
That
felt
was
like
fun.
one of these guys on these big shows doing this. You know, it was a great time. I can't wait to do this again and again. So that was the big trip.
It'll be nice when we're flying instead of driving.
Yeah,
You
I
know.
mean, and not paying for ourselves.
Yes.
Like,
That would be nice.
I mean,
yeah.
we did pretty good. All in all, wasn't too much.
It was worth the money.
Yeah,
But
we had some help.
Absolutely.
We helped some people out with some projects they were working on. I don't know if we're allowed to drop names, so we won't. But we helped some other companies with projects. So as a thank you, they took care of one of the hotels and the vehicle
The
rental for us.
Yeah.
So we just paid for gas, the other hotel, and then the rental of the insane asylum and
Food.
gas, all that
Tattoos.
stuff. Tattoos. So
Yep.
yeah.
It really wasn't that much in the
But
end.
it was, like I
Oh.
said, it was a great bonding experience. Like,
Yeah, it was
you know,
pretty
we've
good.
all known each other for years, but we don't like live together. So like us like living together for 4 days, like it brought us pretty close. It was awesome. Then what else happened this
I
year?
guess next time I'll have to bring Biore strips or something so I don't snore.
No, you can just get your own damn room, sleep in the car. So yeah, then we did a bunch more. We got to do some of these cases we were waiting a long time for, like the Paper City Brewery. Fantastic job there. They were featured on American Pickers.
Yep.
Um,
We're kind of at the point where we've done a bunch of things that half the stuff I don't even remember now. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. We did that.
We did the Charlemont Inn. something
Charlemont
you always
Inn, yeah,
wanted.
that's,
that was awesome.
was originally going to be for season 3, but one of our episodes we filmed wasn't long enough, so we're bumping it up to season 2. Charlemont Inn is one of the oldest inns in the country. It was built in 1775. A lot of people that had to do with the Civil War stayed there. Tons and tons of history.
And possibly was one of the oldest. We were just talking about it earlier. Maybe knocked down by now.
Yeah, they've been trying to save it, but the owners are trying to save it, but the town
Wants nothing to do
would
with
rather
it.
have a parking lot there, which I think is horrible. Like,
Yep.
there's so much history and charm.
They spent so much money just doing what the town
That's
wanted.
how these towns are, though. Like, you do what they say, and then they make up another reason to get rid of you. So,
Yep.
now you have to do this. Oh, you didn't grow wings? Oh, let's see. So, yeah, then we did a bunch more episodes. Season 2 is 7 episodes deep right now. We have... Next up is the Ellen Larned Museum, and then Paper City Brewery, Charlemont Inn, and then the 2 episodes of St. Albans. And then that'll be it for season 2. Then the
And,
documentary.
Yes, the documentary.
Which will be fantastic. It's going to be kind of a different feel, guys. It's going to be a lot of foul language,
It's-
a lot of...
And it'll be more of like an old school, not really old school, but more of a 90s feel to it.
We chose different cameras to film this with. It's not to show the paranormal. It's to show our lives,
Yes.
more or less, like how doing this affects our lives and the things we have to go through. Like, you watch a video of us on a case, an investigation, like, you might just say, oh, these guys just every so often go to a building for an hour. But no, like, when we're there for upwards of
Hours.
12 hours, and the driving there, the buying the equipment, the prepping, the charging, the problems we run into with the computers and stuff. It eats our lives, which I don't mind. I love doing this. So, let me just send a quick text to see if our special guest is ready. But so yeah, the big thing coming up this year, besides us filming season 3, will be the documentary. We're going to be toning down the residential investigations and doing more big stuff.
Bigger stuff.
We actually have another side. Would you call it a segment? The local haunts.
Oh yes,
we've had them filmed for a while. We just have not edited them
we
fully.
actually filmed local haunts, and what was? Oh, here's our guest. Hello, sir.
Talk about timing.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome back to the podcast for the first time in about 2 years, Mr. Sam Louvitakis.
What's up?
Hello, everybody.
Hey, can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I can hear pretty good.
I'm
I'm on my commute home. I probably shouldn't be saying that live, but you know,
Sam, it's so
We can
good to
edit that
have
out.
you back, bro. We miss ya.
good to be back.
Yeah. So yeah, it's me, Tim, and Anthony right now. So
What's up, Big Daddy?
So, fellas, missed you guys.
we
You
miss
too,
you, man.
man.
So we were just talking about, because we haven't done a podcast in almost a year because we've been so busy. So we were filling in everyone with our last year, what we've been up to. You've been gone for 2 years. What's new and exciting in your life? There was something kind of big happening to you recently, right?
Well, let's see. What's new and exciting in my life? I mean, I don't know if you got a long enough slot for all that, but we'll boil it down a little bit. So I'm a dad now. It's pretty rad.
Wow.
Congrats, Sambo.
Thank you. Got a new position at work. Pretty sweet. Making some pretty decent money, so that's always a plus.
So you
not-
are working
not
with
eating
music
ramen
equipment now,
every day.
right?
What's that?
So what exactly are you doing with work? You're doing music stuff, kind of, right?
Well, so kind of. I'm a product specialist for musician's friend. So I pretty much work one-on-one with people and kind of get them into the right gear as opposed to, people getting trigger happy and just buying something random and then being pissed about it later.
Nice.
So
Nice. That's a
it's pretty
plus.
cool. I like it. I get to talk to musicians all day and
So
group
living
of
the
guys
life.
and girls I work with.
So for those listeners at home that don't know where you are in Bountiful, Utah? Is that your town?
So I moved out of Bountiful. I live in South Salt Lake City, Utah now, and working out in a town called Draper, which some of you guys, Utah is not a very popular or well, spoken about state, but it's actually quite the hidden gem. And we're also not too far from Tooele.
Yeah, which is home of
He's,
Asylum 49.
Ooh.
That's right.
and
And the ghost
what-
in the community, we all know.
And weren't you saying that there was also the home of a serial killer near where you live?
Ted Bundy's basement is not too far from where I am.
Have you been there yet?
So I've driven by it, but I have yet to actually stop and go and scope it out. So,
Yeah.
it's certainly on the bucket list.
Nice. So how's the paranormal scene out there? I know you when you first moved out there, you were experiencing some stuff at your first place.
Yeah.
Is
so,
there a difference between West Coast, East Coast, or are you seeing it's kind of the same?
Well, I mean, considering what I've experienced out here so far, I mean, it's been minimal because I haven't really been able to get out and experience it as much as I want to. However, it's mind-blowing to me how receptive people are to it out here. A lot of times on the East Coast, everybody's like, "Oh, you go hunting ghosts, whoa!" And it's like, I mean, it's true though. People have this stigma about it, and it's this whole thing. But out here, it's you bring that stuff up, and people are like, "Oh my God, have you been to this place? Have you heard of this place? Oh, there's these people who do this too." And I mean, it's like almost everybody, there's very few people I've come across that have, said, "Oh, that's shit for the birds, blah blah blah," But we're in a very religious state here. I mean, it's primarily Mormons, and a lot of that stuff is kind of considered taboo, in a way, not always, but in a way. So there's also just as many people who are the millennials, man. There's all these young people who are kind of, opening their eyes a little bit as far as what they consider to be right and not right about their religion and, what they experience in life. And it's crazy because a lot of times with these people, when they hit the real world and they realize that a lot of things that they were raised with and brought up with, they weren't really prepared for it,
Yeah.
And I'm by no means talking down on the religion or the people because, you know what, they're really, really nice people. And they've been phenomenal to me here so far. But I think the question of what's out there, what's after this, I think is kind of one of those things that piques the interest of people that are exploring.
Well, yeah, it almost seems like nowadays, religion back in the day was very black and white. Like, you learned to worship by the rules. But, like, nowadays, like, you said with the millennials and stuff, we're more open to stuff. So, like, we're kind of more like a gray area with, like, we can follow our religions or whatever, but we can kind of feel our own ways of doing it, too.
Absolutely. No, totally. And I see that a lot with, I think people are also realizing that you can still be a good person without having to be labeled with a religion. And I think so people want to be able to remain kind-hearted and do good things for people and not have to have that stigma behind it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nice, Sambo. Well, my big question to you is: are you writing again? Are you creating music again?
So a little bit, not as much as I would like. Of course, daddy duties kind of take over. Yeah, I'm trying to. I really want to get back into music, and I want to be able to do that, with my son. So
Nice.
I'm working on trying to play a lot of music with him and introduce him to music. So
Great,
it's pretty
awesome.
cool.
Good for you, man. You're good. You're a good dad. Congrats.
Thank you, man. I'm so overjoyed. It's like the craziest thing. We had a parent moment yesterday. My little guy just decided he wanted to roll over on his own yesterday, and kind of brought a tear to both of our eyes. We're
That's
like,
exciting.
"My little boy's getting so big."
Right.
Nice.
Wait till he starts walking.
He talks a lot, just like his dad.
Oh,
Until
yeah.
he's like, "Yo, Dad, give me the car keys. I'm going out." And you'll be like, "No, you're 4."
You're 4.
So, question for you: now that you're out in a different area of the country, do you guys have any kind of like cryptozoological creatures out there that are specific to your area? Like, do you have like the Utah Yeti or anything crazy like that, or?
Not to my knowledge. Not that I've heard of or anything yet. Mostly just the bums. That's about the only creature that might sneak up on you.
We got him here too.
So I'm glad you're loving it out there, dude. I'm glad the move worked out for you. Seems like everything's going a-okay.
Yeah, that was a big gamble, man. That was pretty nerve-wracking, but
But it's just
it was the best thing I could have ever done.
it just shows sometimes you gotta pull that trigger, take a chance. You never know what could be.
That's right, man. Everybody listening, if you're not happy, make a change. Do it.
That's
Nice.
the Reverend right
Nice.
there.
Telling you, rockin' Reverend Louvitakis telling you to get up, get out, explore the world, see what it is.
So you guys also have something that we don't have over here, and perhaps you can settle the debate because I know people in their homelands are very partial to their own. In-N-Out Burger.
Yeah, so we have In-N-Out Burger here, and In-N-Out Burger is actually pretty delicious.
Is it as magical as everyone says?
I'll tell you, man, like it's pretty good, man. They got this thing where you get your stuff animal style, right? Which on the East Coast, people are like, I think that's illegal. But, out here, yeah. Oh, wait, I digress. Just a quick second here. I have to sidetrack.
Okay.
We also have something out here that the East Coast does not have. Or if they do have it, they think it's something completely different. We have fry sauce out here.
What?
Fry sauce?
Yeah, fry sauce. Now, I don't know if you guys are familiar with fry sauce at all,
No.
but are you familiar with the movie Step Brothers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. What is the special sauce?
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Oh, it's ketchup and mayonnaise.
Yes.
Yeah, mayo
That's
chop.
fry
Yeah,
sauce.
we do that here too.
Yeah, they just introduced it in. You can get it at Walmart. They call it mayo chop.
Yeah,
Okay, so
it's amazing.
fry sauce out here is just mayo, ketchup with some spices or something in there. But they legitimately sell like Heinz brand fry sauce. And from what my understanding is, it originated here in Utah.
So
Wow.
I'm gonna take a
Yeah.
guess that you're like around 400 pounds right now. Then.
$3.99, but that's besides the point.
They make
all
that
right?
fry sauce light now.
I will tell you, man. I actually I don't eat out that often anymore. I did before I had my son.
Yeah.
We kind of made a point to, we'd go out every once in a while and kind of try different restaurants, or I say restaurants, I mean like all the different fast food. But we'd go in we just have lazy days. Now though, we've kind of gotten really good about not going out too much, which is boring. We do have our date nights and things like that, but really what we're trying to do is eat as healthy as possible. We want to make sure that we're healthy for our son and, healthy for each other. So,
Awesome.
it's a good thing. But there's definitely the options. I drive by Wendy's, In-N-Out, and, like Crown Burger. Man, you're about to make me jump down a rabbit hole right now. I'm afraid about it.
He's like, I'm gonna be home a little late tonight. Gotta run by real quick.
We've actually got a place out here that's better than In-N-Out, and it's called Crown Burger, and another one called Apollo Burger. So
I've heard of that.
I'm
one.
all of a sudden jumping into, Ghost Hunter to foodie now. But I will say, man, Apollo Burger has got like the realest bacon you could ever have on a burger, and Crown Burger is like the best burger joint, but slower fast food, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Takes a little longer for you to get your food, but there's still a drive-thru.
So kind of like a Five Guys almost.
Yeah, but Five Guys, I mean, and I might get some shit for this. I don't like Five Guys.
Well, I don't like you, sir. Goodbye.
The one in Connecticut apparently is better than Five Guys as well. It's Burger Fi or something. My brother went there.
Yeah. No, there's I'm a.
There's Five Guys everywhere out here. And I'm not even exaggerating when I say this. Where I am right now, there's a McDonald's, a Five Guys, Wendy's, and a Burger King, all within eyeshot. And I swear to God, if I could work my camera right now, I would totally do it.
Sounds like the South.
Sounds like I need to move there because burgers are my favorite food.
There's far better than fast food out here, I can tell you that.
Nice. So, any other big haunts out there? You got a couple big ones with Asylum 49. Anything else cool out there?
49, yeah. Again, there's very few people that I talk to consistently about this stuff. With my old roommate, Zeke, his girlfriend's sister is super into the paranormal stuff, and she has like all these different places that she was listing off that we should check out. It's another one of those things where I got to touch base and like really kind of get the list again. Once my little boy gets a little bit bigger and a little bit older, or I find a babysitter, one of the two, I'll be able to kind of, go explore a little bit more like I would like to.
Yeah, I don't think you're allowed to ghost hunt until you're at least 2 or 3 years old. So,
I mean, the thing of that is, like, I am all about it, but the problem is I worry about the purity and the innocence of my son being very attractive to demons and bad spirits, you know. And
Absolutely, I know all about that.
it is a bit concerning to me. So you know, that's dad mode kicking in. But you know, gotta do it.
That's why we cleanse everywhere we go. Make sure you cleanse before you. That way, you're not getting an attachment.
Oh man, I'll tell you, I cleanse after I leave work. Because some of the people I talk to on the phone, you swear to God they were evil.
Oh yeah, they're so negative. I know, right?
I'm hoping that I can kind of get some more connections. I haven't really reached out to too many people, but you know, it's not advertised out here. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and maybe I'm just looking in the wrong spot. But even though it seems like people are really into it, and you know, there's not much, you know, hate or anything like that, discrimination towards it, it's still not advertised like you would, like some people out on the East Coast, you know.
Yeah, well, you got to figure like out here we got Salem, which that's how they make their money is the spooky, you know. Where you're more in like a Holy Land type place, you know.
Right, and you know what's crazy is for having this be such a state of you know, religion and you know, quote unquote purity. There are things that happen here that you just wouldn't expect, and it's not something that ever gets like swept under the rug, but it's certainly not advertised to people, and I think what it does is it creates a lot of negative energy in some people, and where I'm going with this could be viewed as a topic of I don't know what the word is I'm looking for here. Controversial. But I've seen this firsthand, and a lot of kids, you know, that are teenagers or just getting, you know, into their mid to late teens, they're not able to really kind of express how they feel because they have to be a certain way. And I suppose when you grow up that way and you're used to it and you're surrounded by people who are that way as well, it's normal and it's okay. But people, a lot of times, are exposed to, you know, different things. Some people are exposed to, and this is going to sound crazy, but Harry Potter. That's like some devil shit out here.
No shit, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. I mean, like, it's pretty crazy, the things that are viewed as...
Oh, it's witchcraft. Yeah, that's what they say. It's
witchcraft, yeah, really. I mean, it is. But, so where I'm going with this is, like, a lot of the time, teenagers start to decide, you know, this isn't for me. I need to explore, and I need to see what the world really is. A lot of times with these parents and families, they will, and I hate to even say this, they kick their kids out.
Yeah, disown them.
Yeah.
And they, you know, get rid of them. They're not a part of, you know, if you can't be a part of the religion, then you can't be a part of the family.
It's basically like the Amish.
The Amish, it's like Scientology. I mean, you know, and granted, listen, like every, you know, religion or organization of some sort is going to have their extremists. That's a given. That's how it works. That's okay. But the people that I have met who have been in that situation, it's really sad, and it really kind of causes a lot of animosity, as well as potential for lashing out, so to speak. So, there, as much as a good place as this is, there can be clouds of negative energy. Some people will turn a blind eye to it, especially if they're not very receptive to it. But it does exist. So it raises a good question of why is like the religion thing so important? You know, is it because there's an underlying evil, or, you know, some kind of juju that people just don't know about that, you know, that exists? You know, it's a conspiracy type question, I guess, but.
Hey everyone, Ben from the Ghost Guys here. Be sure to check out Season 2 of People vs. Paranormal on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/People vs. Paranormal. And follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. That's People vs. Paranormal on Facebook and Instagram, and the Ghost Guys on Twitter. If you like what you see, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Stay spooky. Well, no, it's just, I think it shows, like, you know, every culture is a little different with stuff like that. So, like, every area of the world will have their negative. It's just how it stems or what it's from, how they deal with it. Like, I was going to ask you this, and this is kind of like an example of that, like, talking about the difference of people, because we are famously known as massholes. And I was going to ask you if you see that, because, like, it sounds like people there are generally nice to other people, even strangers. Like, when we were down south, we noticed people were more polite the further south you go. One time, like, I had a layover in Georgia, and everyone up until that point was super nice, and then you get the people come to Massachusetts, and they are dicks.
Oh yeah.
I disagree with that.
Really?
Southern hospitality is not all that it's cracked up to be. Being there for a few hours, interacting with people, sure. Living there is a completely different experience. There's just as big a dicks down south as there is up here. Up here, someone will say it to your face. Down there, it's more, I'll be nice to your face, but I'll talk shit behind your back.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's a
out
50-50.
here, yeah, no, and I'm sure, I mean, like, that exists, you know, all over. I guess we just have to look at the majority.
Yeah.
You know, out here, you can be walking down a trail. Like, me and Savannah would go hiking during the summertime. When she was pregnant, we used to just go for hikes, get some exercise. We'd be on the trails walking, and honest to God, every single person that walked by had a smile on their face and said, "Hey, how you doing?" "Oh, hey, you know, just dying, running out of breath. How are you?" You know, friendly people. If somebody gives you the look like I get sometimes, because, you know, I'm covered in tattoos, I'm a bearded dude, I look like I'm going to beat the shit out of a baby or something, you know, whatever. But people will give you the look, and if those people give you the look, you know you're not going to hear from them. And you don't have to go out of your way and waste your breath to talk to them. It's a mutual silent agreement, you know? Nobody's going to, I mean, if they go and talk shit behind your back, whatever. No big deal.
Basically, no matter where you go, where you are, there's nice people and there's assholes.
Yep.
So it really doesn't make a difference where you are and how nice someone's going to be towards you, depending on what part of the country they're in. So,
you know, even the assholes out here are still nicer than the nicest assholes.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
You know? And again, like, I know this sounds like a giant shit talk fest for the East Coast, which, yeah, kind of it is, but, you know.
Hey, when you're born and bred, you're allowed to talk shit about us.
That's right.
That's right. So I work with a kid from Worcester.
What?
Welcome to Worcester.
Yeah.
$1.25.
Right, so every single day when we see each other, it's, "Hey, what's up, guy? How you doing, guy?"
Hey,
you know,
kid.
like,
Hey, kid.
and everybody at work goes, "God, so fucking annoying." And it's like, if you lived there, you would understand, but you don't, so shut your
up.
mouth.
Yeah.
What's your problem, guy? What's your problem, kid? That's all you
Yeah,
can say.
and people never realized that mathhole was like a legitimate term. I was like, dude, people have bumper stickers that say it. Like,
Yep.
it's a real thing. Google that shit, man.
Yep.
But yeah, that's you know, that's mostly a majority of life out here. You know, it's nice. People are nice. The mountains are just beautiful. I believe that the mountains hold like this insane energy. I mean, it's just.
Looks like Lord of the Rings out there, basically.
Oh, the mountains are huge.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's true, man. You could be walking, you know, all throughout, and just all of a sudden, the next thing you know, you're like, am I in Utah or am I walking towards like Mordor? Like,
Right.
this is some weird looking stuff, but then it gets like super pretty again. I mean, it's endless beauty out here. It really is.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it, man. You know, you deserve it.
You do.
Definitely.
Oh, I appreciate it, guys. I miss the shit out of you. Big
Yeah.
time.
Well, we'll see each other again soon. We're coming tonight.
Hopefully. Hey, I got chicken going in the oven right now. It's only 2 pieces, but I'll split it.
Right.
You know, we'll definitely figure a way to get out there at some point. You know, we gotta.
We should set up a hunt out there.
Once we get the
we should do a hunt.
finances, that's
Yeah.
the thing. But no, we've been talking about that. You know, we gotta get the band together for one last gig.
Gotta figure it
Yeah,
out.
right, man? For sure. Either that or just, we just got to figure out a way to branch out.
Yeah, we
You
gotta
know?
start that the
Hell yeah.
Ghost
Because
Guys
the band's
West
gotta
Coast.
break up.
Hell yeah. Then we could start
You
fighting
heard it
like
here, folks.
West Coast,
We're
East
gonna
Coast.
expand.
Be like when the Avengers had their West Coast.
Be like,
East
we're
Coast.
better than you, bitches.
Well, I mean, I was going to go with, like, Ghost Hunters and Ghost Hunters International. But, yeah, I mean, we could totally go with the Avengers, too. That works.
Right.
All right, Sam. We'll let you get home to the little guy. Thanks for joining. Actually, before you sign
I
off,
said we can actually do the ending. 'Cause
we
I
can
gotta
have
go.
you. Yeah, we'll have you do the ending. Do you remember the ending? How we sign off?
Putting this to rest.
No. Oh my God, this is the guy that created it too,
right.
on the spot. So we'll go around, say our names, and you'll go last, and you'll say, "Rest in peace."
Rest in peace.
All right.
Yes.
All right. So let's.
Okay, I remember.
So to all the fans watching at home, sorry this is audio only, so listen next time. But we want to thank you guys for tuning in. It's been far too long since we've done this. As always, we are your hosts. I'm Ben.
I'm Tim.
I'm Anthony.
I am Sam, and rest in peace.